And normal form games or strategic form games models simultaneous move games. All the players play simultaneously. Simultaneous move, complete information games. So what do you mean by simultaneous move? It's like all players play together. That means when one player is playing, he or she does not know what other players have played. That's one criticism about normal form games, because many real world games like chess and in many other games, it is not simultaneous move games. Sometimes players move sequentially or one after another according to some rules of the game. And the second problem is that we are in a complete information setting. That means what? That means that we exactly know the utility functions of all other players. Each player exactly know the exact strategy set, utility functions of all other players exactly. It's like in real world situations, in many applications, some information is sometimes private to a player, and that is not publicly available for the player. For example, think of auction. When we modeled auction game, we assumed that the utility function is known, the utility function is common knowledge. Now, if you carefully recall, the utility function of player I involves the valuation for the item for the player. So if all the player knows all the players utility functions, that means that all the players know the utility the valuation of all the players about the item, which is not really true in real life applications. So that is what we mean by complete information. So in today's lecture, we will relax both the assumptions one after another, and after, if we relax the complete information assumption, then we get Bayesian games. And when we relax the simultaneous move assumption and assume that there is players move one after another, then what we will get is called extensive form game. But interestingly, we will see that both the Bayesian game and the extensive form game can be viewed as some equivalent, some other normal form game, which justifies our approach of focusing our attention on normal form games only. Because this both Bayesian game and extensive form game can be um, can be can be converted to a equivalent normal form game. So that's the plan. So let's start with Bayesian game. So here we are relaxing the complete information setting, and that means there are some part or some information which is which is held by each player and which is not exactly known to all the players. So let's see how we model it. So definition of Bayesian game. So a Bayesian game is defined as a tuple where we have a set of players Uh, then we have each player has a type set theta I. It is a set of all possible data that is held privately to player I. So each player I in N has a set of data which is known to that player only. This set capital theta I, this is capital theta. This set capital theta I is common knowledge, but what is the exact value of um, of that private information that player I has, which is a element of capital theta I, that is known only to player I. Think of capital theta I as the in an auction example. Think of capital theta I as a set of all possible valuations. Maybe theta I is set of real numbers, set of say non-negative real numbers for each player. But what is the exact valuation that is an element of capital theta I, that is not known to other players. That is known only to player I. So this is capital theta I, and as before we have a strategy set SI IN. Then we have a probability distributions P. I'll define what it is, and we have utility functions. So these two things, these type sets and this probability distribution, these are two new parameters for Bayesian games which were not present in normal form game. So let's write N is the set of players then theta I, capital theta I, is called type set of player I. IN. Then as before we have SI, which is strategy set of player I. Then P is a probability distributions over the set of all type sets. Probability distribution over theta. Theta is nothing but product IN theta. Why this prior is important? See again, think of the auction scenario. So depending on the item that is being auctioned, the valuation of each player depends on the item, and that is sort of, you can think of as the probability distributions P, and which is over the set of all type profiles. So type profiles of the players. So these are probability distributions P, and then the utility function is more general here, because the utility function depends on the type also. Just take the analogy that type is like valuation in the auction example. So utility function of course depends on the valuation. So more generally it can depend on the valuation of not only player I but for all players. So this is the type profile, and of course the strategy is played by all players to real numbers. Okay, so that is a definition of Bayesian game. Okay. Now you can see that using so this P is also called prior distribution. And and this gamma is a common knowledge. The typical setting that we assume that gamma is common knowledge. But what is the exact type of player I? That is known only to player I, but no one else. And using the exact type of player I and this prior distribution, we can define what is called posterior distribution. This is what? So think of again auction scenario. The player I has seen the item, and after seeing the item, player I now knows his valuation for the item. That means he knows his type. But not only he knows his type, because this prior distribution P is also a common knowledge, the player I also has a posterior of or belief, posterior distribution or belief, some guess about how or what could be the valuations for the item for other players. So that is the posterior distribution. So P is a conditional distributions of probability P given theta I. Okay, so maybe let's model auction scenario with respect to or as a Bayesian game, so that the concept becomes clear. So example, say there is a selling one seller, say selling an item to N, selling an item to N buyers. Okay, so assume that seller will always sell. So the players are the buyers only. So the set of players is the set of buyers. Of course, one can model including seller also as a player. 1, 2. They are the players. Now theta I, assume that it is in between 0, 1. Say after scaling, we can assume that it is in between 0, 1. The valuation, this is a set of all valuations for the item. This is fine. Then the strategy set is the bid that player I will make, and this also say in between 0 and 1. Now say prior, I define it as say where Pi is uniform distribution over 0, 1. That means as if that the valuation is uniformly distributed over the set 0, 1. And the prior distribution is the simple product distribution of this n probability distributions. Okay, and as before, for an auction we need to decide a allocation rule. So let A be an allocation rule SI I n to R power n, which basically selects a allocation for the item for from every bit profile. That means all the players make a bit, and this image of A contains only those vectors which has only one in one coordinate and others are 0. So images image contain only those vectors for which one coordinate is 1 and others are 0. That means which are valid allocation vectors, others are 0. Okay, and then of course as before we have a payment function, say Q, because P is already taken for defining prior distribution, so I am using Q. This is again a function from bit profile to how much each player pays. So Qi is the payment, so think of this is like Q1 to Qn. So each player I pays Qi. Okay, and what is the utility function? Ui of theta I theta minus I Si is minus I is if the player gets the item, that means it is Ai is the say ith coordinate of the allocation function times theta I is the valuation of player I minus Qi is what player I needs to pay. So this is how this I will say a more realistic modeling of auction scenario than modeling auction scenario as a strategic farm game, because these valuations are often private types and which is known only to player I. Questions about this example or the definition of Bayesian game? Okay, so now next we define how to convert a Bayesian game into an equivalent normal form game, which is called Zelton game after the inventor. And the idea is this: you can think of this type set here, the type set of player I as the set of all possible instantiations of the player I. That means, so again in an auction scenario, assume that depending on what is the exact type of player I, its valuation function will change, sorry, its utility function will change, and its sort of the behavior will change. So as if for each small theta I in capital theta I, we have a different player, and that's the idea of Zelton game. So define, suppose you have a Bayesian game gamma in theta I in Si P Ui. I am given a Bayesian game. I define a corresponding normal form game, which is called the corresponding Zelton game. Say gamma S for Zelton is this. I will have a set of players. I will define what will be the set of players. Basically, I will have one player for each type of all the players. Okay, so it's like for all small theta I have a player and I need to define their strategies. So theta small theta I in capital theta I in then ui, because I have players for each small theta I have to define their utility theta I in capital theta I in. So as I said that the set of players is then the set of players is nothing but the set of all types we have. I in. So if the game is finite, that means as before everything is finite. That means n is finite, theta is finite, si is finite. So if gamma is finite, then the number of players, so the cardinality of gamma is so cardinality of n is the number of players is exactly the sum of the size of each type set. Of course, this makes sense if each theta is finite. Otherwise, this sum does not make sense. Now, because for each small theta I have a corresponding player. That player's set of strategies is what is available to player I. So, what is S theta I? S theta I is simply a copy of player I in the Bayesian game, but its type is sort of fixed now into small theta I. So, of course, the strategy is exactly the strategies available to player I. This is for all theta I in capital theta I mean. Okay. And what will be the utility of this corresponding player corresponding to small theta I? So ui, I'm using this capital ui uh, for denoting the utilities in the Zelton game. Ui of small theta I. Now it must be a function of the strategy sets only, but the function of the strategy profile. So this is S theta I. This is a strategy profile. Theta I in now intuitively what should be its utility? Why this annoying? What should be the utility of player I? Can someone suggest? Means what is most natural? So think of I have a player. Means what will be the utility of player I in the Bayesian game if its type is theta I? That is exactly the utility of player corresponding to theta I in Zelton. So this is nothing but the expected utility because I have a prior probability distribution. So as I said that using prior we can define posterior because now exact type is known and it is small theta I. So this is expectation over theta minus I ui of now because the type of player I is fixed, that is theta I, theta minus I S S theta I identity. Okay, so so this is the expected utility of player I if its type profile is if its type is theta I. Maybe let me expand this, that will be more clearer. You sum over all other type profiles of other players, theta minus I. Now, what is the probability that the other player's type profile is theta minus I? This we can get from this given probability distributions P theta minus I given theta I. So with this probability, the type profile of other players is theta minus I. And then what is the utility? Ui theta I theta minus I. And what are the actions they are playing? The actions they are playing is already written here, which is part of input of capital theta I. It's like it is saying that if for each player what action they are playing for their type profile. So if their type profile is theta minus I, what each player will play, that is given as the input to the utility function capital U theta I, capital U theta I, correct. So I write this as theta I. Okay, so this is the corresponding Zelton game. Now, once we have a corresponding Zelton game, you see that the number of players is huge. But we can now apply all the game theoretic concepts that we have studied so far with respect to normal form game, because Zelton game is a normal form game. For example, we can define concepts like dominant strategy equilibria or strongly dominant strategy, pure strategy Nash equilibria, so on and so forth. So maybe let me define a pure strategy Nash equilibria for this Zelton game. So whenever you want to define a concept for Zelton game, what you do is that you whenever we want to define or study some concept, some game theoretic concept for the Bayesian game, the idea is you study that same thing on Zelton game. So pure strategy Nash equilibria. Nash equilibria for Bayesian game. How will I define? Same thing. Suppose I am given a Bayesian game. I look at the corresponding Zelton game and I define a pure strategy Nash equilibrium there and take this as a definition of a pure strategy Nash equilibrium for Bayesian game. So, up let me say a PSNE for this given Bayesian game is defined as, you know, in the Zelton game we have a player for each type, and here a strategy profile in the Zelton game is that a strategy for each type of player I. So a strategy profile in a Zelton game is like specifying what player I will play for each type of each type of that player I. A strategy profile is nothing but in a Bayesian game is S1 star to Sn star, where this Si star is nothing but a function from theta I to Si, isn't it? In a Zelton game, I need, what is the strategy profile? For each type small theta I, for each I need to tell a strategy for strategy from Si. Now it is same as like for every I you define a function from capital theta I to Si. You can think of this Bayesian gave the strategy of player I as a sort of plan. I am going to participate in an auction, but I haven't seen the item yet. Now I am contemplating that, okay, if my valuation for the item is this, I will play this. If my valuation for the item is that, then I will play that, and so on and so forth. So you can also equivalently view the strategy of player I in a Bayesian game as sort of a plan, as a function from type set to strategy set. So a PSNE is this strategy profile such that again classical definition, unilateral deviation does not help. That means such that for all player I and for all other possible strategy for player I, the utility of player I given theta I is greater than equal to Ui Si star S minus I star Si S minus I star given theta I. This is for all theta I also. So in plain English it says that it does not matter what is the actual type at the time of playing the game, actual type theta I, it is always best to stick to the plan according to SI star. Think of SI star as a plan for player I, how it will play once it knows its actual type theta I. So for with this, so this sort of a best plan for player I, given other players are also playing according to this plan. Questions? Okay, or equivalently you can expand, use the definition of capital EY, or you can write equivalently. If you write straight from the Bayesian game, the expected utility with respect to other other types. So equivalently for all player I in N, for all AI in Si and theta I in theta I. Ui of player I's type is small theta I, is small theta I, theta minus I. The utility function for Bayesian game takes type profile and also strategy profile. So S star theta I is minus I star theta minus I. This is the expected utility of player I when its type is small theta I. This should be at least as high as expectation of a theta minus I, ui theta minus I. Now instead of playing according to the plan of A star, if it plays some other action, some other strategy A, and of course other players are playing according to the plan, this is the utility. Okay, so again let me read it again in plain English. Its expected utility with respect to other players types, because the only thing it has is its access to the common prior P, and because after knowing theta I is his or her own true type, it can only have a probabilistic guess over the type profiles of other players. So whenever we have such a scenario, we always talk about expected utility. So here also we are doing expected utility, expectation over the type profile of other players, given it is playing, given player I and all other players are playing according to the PSNE strategy profile SI star, and this should be as good as playing any other action A for player I, given other players are playing according to the strategy profile given. Question on the definition of PSNE. So it is a bit notation heavy. It can take some time to get used to this notation, but if you really think, this is sort of what is extremely natural. If you really try to write a normal form game corresponding to a Bayesian game, this is sort of, I would say, with quite likely that one will get to this thing. Questions? Amartya, you can take the attendance now. Okay. Now.
Okay. Yeah.
So now we will prove auction, the fast price auction, as a Bayesian game, and show that it has a Bayesian pure strategy Nash equilibrium. So here is a theorem. So maybe you have noticed that we have proved long ago in the beginning of this subject that the second price auction has truth telling or bidding the true valuations is a weakly dominant strategy equilibrium, but we have not proved anything for fast price auction. This we do now. So so in a Bayesian game, for fast price auction, each player bidding half their valuation is a pure strategy Bayesian Nash equilibrium. If the following conditions hold, that we have exactly two buyers, okay, and this buyers valuations are uniformly distributed. So let me write this way: P, the prior is P1 times P2, and both are uniform distributions. P1 equal to P2. There, let me write this. P1, P2 are follows a uniform distribution over this 0, 1. Okay, and the third is that buyers are risk neutral. Now, what do we mean by risk neutral? So it's best explained as an example. So suppose I give you two options. Either you take 100 rupees with probability 1, or you take say 200 rupees with probability half and 0 with probability 1, probability half. That means although in your expected utility of both the cases is same, which is 100, then if you are a risk neutral player, then both the strategies are you are indifferent to both the options. You like both the options equally well. On the other hand, if you are risk loving player, then you will prefer the strategy of getting 200 with probability half and 0 with probability half. On the other hand, if you are a risk averse player, then you will prefer the strategy of or the option of getting 100 rupees with probability 1. Now, in case of this particular situation, so this is the qualitative definition of risk neutral player. The quantitative definition varies from application to application, and for this particular theorem, what does it mean is that that is, let me write this way, that is the bid say Bi of theta I, bid will of course be a function of valuation. Bid is alpha I times theta I. It's a linear function of theta I for some alpha I in 0, 1. Okay, for both the players. Okay, so under these three assumptions, we will show that bidding half their valuation is a pure strategy Bayesian Nash equilibria for the fast price auction game. Question on the statement of the theorem. Okay, so let's prove it. So let's write what is the utility function of player 1. So player 1's utility function u1 of theta 1, theta 2. Instead of strategies S1, S2, let me use B1, B2 because they are bids. B1, B2. Okay. So utility of player I is 0 if it does not win the auction. On the other hand, if it is valuation minus bid if it wins, because in the first price auction the winner has to pay his or her bid. So this is this is the utility of player 1 if player 1 wins, and this happens with probability of winning. So B2 theta 2 is less than equal to B1 theta 1. Because we are in a this probabilities underlying probability space is a continuous space, don't worry about this less than equal to or less than, it does not matter. The probability that B2 theta 2 is strictly less than B1 theta 1 is same as B2 theta 2 is less than equal to B1 theta 1. Okay, so let me write this. Now what is this probability? Let me expand. So B2 theta 2 by our assumption is alpha 2 theta 2. We don't know alpha. So alpha 2 theta 2 is less than equal to B1 theta 1. So you can assume, you can think of that we are trying to compute what should be the bit. So like B1 theta 1 is our variable. What is we are trying to find the optimization function of player 1. What is best for player 1? This is theta 1 minus B1 theta 1, and this probability is, you can write it as probability theta 2 is less than B1 theta 1 by alpha 2. So this is, let me write this way, theta 1 minus B1 theta 1. Now if theta 2 is, so this probability is 1 if B1 theta 1 by alpha 2 is more than 1. If B1 theta 1 by alpha 2 is more than 1, then this is always this is always true. So this is probability 1 if this is greater than alpha 2. And this is theta 1 minus B1 theta 1 times B1 theta 1 by alpha 2 otherwise, because theta 2 is distributed uniformly in the interval 0 1. Okay. Now you use standard calculus to maximize u1 theta 1 using b1 theta 1 as variable. So maximizing this u1 theta 1 theta 2 b1 b2, we get what? We get, so let's write b1 star theta 1. This I leave you to check, theta 1 by 2. If theta 1 by 2 is less than equal to alpha, alpha 2, this alpha 2 otherwise. Okay. So this is for player 1. You can mimic the, so similarly, similar calculation can be done for player 2, and we get b2 theta 2 is theta 2 by 2 if theta 2 by 2 is less than equal to alpha 1, and this is alpha 1 otherwise. Okay. Now you need to pick alpha 1, alpha 2 such a way that all this is, so let choose alpha 1, alpha 2 in such a way because this alpha 1 is hidden in b1 star theta 1 also, such a way that both equations are satisfied. And the only way to choose is check that choose alpha 1 and alpha 2 both as half, and thus you get b1 star, this is b2 star, theta 2 equal to theta 2 by 2. Okay, so it's just easy proof, not so difficult. You just do the, I just skimmed over the typical calculation using maximizing a function, and finally here how to choose alpha 1 and alpha 2 such that both these conditions hold, and it is sort of relatively straightforward to check that the only alpha 1 alpha 2 combination that will satisfy both the equations is both are half. Questions on these two? Okay, now this can be mimicked for n buyers. Here we have two buyers for n risk neutral buyers, and with all the other assumptions like players valuations are in between 0 and 1 uniformly at random, then one can show that for n players the same calculation, this is the Bayesian pure strategy Nash equilibrium. That means each player bids n minus 1 by n of theta I is Bayesian pure strategy Nash equilibrium. So this also shows that, which matches with your intuition, that the more the number of buyers will be, the more it is better for seller, because it is because of high competition, players are also need to bid much closer to their actual valuation. Okay, so I am out of time. In the next class, we will study extensive form cubes. Questions? So, so this week we won't have any tutorial. The two problems that I decided, I thought of doing in this tutorial, I have given that in a assignment, third assignment, which is easy, and you do, and then we will meet next Monday. Questions? Okay, so if there is no more question, so let's stop here. Okay, bye bye. I am signing off.